Okay.
So,
Want a remake?
yeah.
How about The Old Dark House?
Which is a Hammer film. And you think of Hammer, classic horror films, Dracula and Frankenstein and blood and horror and scary. And this was kind of like a slapstick comedy.
Oh, very much so, yeah.
Yeah, very, very comedic.
Well, the original Old Dark House was from 1932.
And that had a lot of comedy elements. I think this one even more so.
Was it? I don't know that it was really intended to be a comedy. It was just so hokey that it was laughable in a lot of cases. The 32 version.
I believe it was. Oh, the 32 version?
Yeah,
I
it was
believe
not
so.
meant. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Well, they certainly played it up this time.
They really played it up.
So they took this 1932 Universal film and Hammer did their version in 1963. Just like they did with Dracula and the Mummy and Frankenstein. They're copying everything and modernizing them. That was what they did. They made 60 versions of 30s movies.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one from 1963, directed by William Castle. And I think this was his first big movie, and he made many more for them.
Mm-hmm.
Written by Robert Dillon and J.B. Priestley. Stars Tom Poston, who I remember from The Newhart Show. That's about the only thing I've ever seen him in.
Yeah, that's right. He was on that.
He was in that all the time.
Yeah.
Robert Morley, who I've seen in other things, and Jeanette Scott. 1 hour, 26 minutes. Did you like it?
Yeah. Slightly more than me.
If I'd have been 7 or 8,
I would
this
have
would
enjoyed
have been
it
really
more.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
As it was like kind of, really?
Kind of dated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it dated or is it just juvenile?
Or are we jaded or both? Or all three? I think it's dated, it's juvenile, and we're jaded.
Yeah. This
all
is
three.
much more comedy than horror. But it takes place in a spooky old house and there's murder and so forth.
Old dark house, as a matter of fact.
The title comes on, and it's all these haunted houses with ghosts in the windows. And you see that the title sequence is written by Charles Adams. Yeah.
Which, that alone says a lot. It's Chaz Adams, comedy horror.
Horror comedy, yeah.
Horror comedy, yeah.
Well, Tom Penderell, a car salesman from America, goes to the casino and finds Casper Femme, a friend who has recently bought one of his cars. Femme loses a pile of money gambling and insists that Tom spend the weekend with him at Femme Hall. He explains that a casket has just been delivered there, and it's almost time, he says creepily. Casper flies home, literally flies on a plane, and Tom drives the car to Femme Hall.
Well, and you didn't tell the weirdest part of the setup, too. He's been visiting and rooming with Casper, except he's there
Tom is there
at night,
in the nighttime.
Casper is there during the day. Casper's never there at night.
Yeah.
So they're sharing the apartment like on 12
like a one-bedroom apartment that they share.
And he doesn't know why Casper's never there at night. But
yeah, it's very strange.
But then he finds out. Yeah.
Well, the new car is basically destroyed by the time he gets there. Potholes and stuff falling on it, and it's all very comedic.
Mm-hmm.
He walks up to the door of the main house, knocks on the door, and falls through a trap door into the cellar. How many times have you fallen through a trap door?
Never have.
It happens a lot in these old movies.
Mm-hmm.
The entrance does about as often as quicksand.
Mm-hmm.
The entrance doesn't work right, says Potiphar Femme.
Oh, it hadn't. He just fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This house is old. Old and dark, he explains. I love it when they fit the title in. He leads Tom into the study, where Casper lies in a coffin. He's dead.
He died an hour ago, and nobody's upset.
Well, they're
Do
really
you notice
not, are
that?
they?
They're really not. No, nobody in the house really. Yeah.
Yeah, he then meets Cecily Femme, who says Tom is very brave to come there. She warns him to leave before the others return. But it's too late since Uncle Roderick is at the door. He meets Casper's mother as well as Morgana, the sex-starved cousin who latches onto Tom like a leech. They all sit down and have a very awkward dinner in the leaky old dining room. And literally one guy's sitting there with
an umbrella
at
dinner.
Cecily explains that
it's a beautiful house, but it's really trashed. It's really run down and
it was probably a beautiful house
beat
300 years ago.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Cecily explains that there are 2 more people who didn't come to dinner. We don't know who they are yet.
No.
Tom asks why they all choose to live in this dumpy old leaky mansion. It's not that we want to stay at Femme Hall, Mr. Penderell. It's that we must. We must, explains the mother. Roderick then explains that the great pirate Morgan built the house and required in his will that all his descendants must live in the house to have any right to the fortune. Any member of the family who doesn't return to the house each night by midnight forfeits everything. Also, nothing in the house can change until the house dies. Suddenly, they all hear Casper's voice, but it turns out it's just a tape recording. You know, these old movies, not only the trapdoors, they always have these weird wills with all these oddball conditions.
Yeah.
Can wills get that specific anymore?
I don't know if
I'll give you all
can
my
anymore.
money, but you have to live in my house until the day you die.
I don't know why you couldn't. I don't know.
Who's going to check up on these things?
I don't know. Pay an attorney enough? I don't know. Yeah,
Well, there are numerous comedic encounters as Tom meets the various crazy family members one by one.
it's very Addams Family. I mean,
When did the Addams
Mitch
Family TV show start? This was before that,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Soon, Tom goes wandering around and meets Casper, who is now up and walking around. Nope, this is actually Jasper, Casper's twin. Jasper and Casper. Jasper expects that he'll be next. He says that Uncle Roderick wants to kill them all off, so he will get the fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Fem then makes an appearance, but he's just a burly man who doesn't speak. Kind of looks like a pirate himself.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Midnight strikes, and Mother Agatha doesn't appear. They follow a trail of yarn to her dead body, because every scene she's been in, she's been knitting.
And yeah, that was pretty funny, actually.
And they find her body stabbed with her own knitting needles.
Yarn, the trail following all through the house. And then they get there, and she's literally got both needles protruding through her neck. And one of them says, "Oh, must have been murder."
Worst suicide ever.
No kidding.
Well, soon Tom runs into one of Potiphar's collection. Turns out he collects hyenas. No, actually he collects lots of animals as he's building Noah's Ark in the backyard. Literally Noah's Ark,
Yep.
with all the animals.
With an animal collection.
He wants Tom and Morgana to join him in order to repopulate the earth. There's even a little cage with his and hers written on it.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan then chases Tom into quicksand, but he's then rescued by Roderick. When they get back to the house, they find Jasper dead.
Mm-hmm.
Roderick soon follows, killed with his own booby-trapped gun. And there's some nonsense mixed in here about Roderick thinks that maybe Tom is a distant relative now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Because he wound up at the house to spend the night.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there are relatives over in America too. But the real trick is with the will, the way it's set up. He hasn't spent any nights in this house.
So
he had no option to get anything.
He would have invalidated it by
He
not
could have
showing
been
up
a
at midnight.
brother and not counted.
Yeah.
Well, soon we find out who's behind the deaths, and Tom must find all the hidden dynamite before the house blows up. The end.
It's silly.
It's silly.
It's a silly movie.
There's murder, death, quicksand, and explosives. Trapdoors and quicksand.
Mm-hmm.
So it does have all the horror movie tropes, but this is a very 1960s comedy film. There's lots of running around and snarky one-liners, and none of the actors played even remotely straight.
No.
I would say this film would be fine for young kids. I mean, if they like, the Abbott and Costello horror movies, this is right up there with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just too much slapstick and silliness for a grown-up, I think. I don't think too many people are going to really be into this one.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something weird, it was color, wasn't it? It was color, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unlike the original.
Yeah.
They invented color since 1960.
Oh, they barely had sound in that first one.
Yeah. That was an early movie.
But if you're going to pick one of the two old Dark House, actually, I think there's a different one that we haven't seen
I'd go
yet.
with the original.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah.
It was much better.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one that had Boris Karloff in, like, the suit where he didn't talk.
And you can see where a lot of those tropes were first used in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I heard Boris Karloff was offered a role in this, but he turned it down saying it was too silly.
Huh.
He's not really a comedy guy.
Yeah. Good for him.
A wise choice.
Yeah. And that's our show. Stop in during the week to the website, horrorguys.com. Check us out on social media or tune into the full-length audio podcast.
Just everything here, our weekly show is done as a full-length, around an hour audio podcast each week.
Where we talk about all the movies. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That helps us out. Give some likes and subscribes.
Yep. And horrorguys.com has, of course, all our reviews in writing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to read more, sometimes we'll forget the line here or there. So if you want to read them, check out horrorguys.com.
Yeah.
And I'm Brian.
I'm Kevin.
And we'll see you at the next movie.
See ya.